Do you know what some fantastic discoveries from World War II are? 7 decades after the end of World War II, artifacts from that era are still being found worldwide. They will shock you, so keep watching. We take a look at 9 of the most amazing discoveries, so let's start without wasting any more time. Me-262 jet. First, we have the Me-262 jet. When air warfare was first introduced in World War II, it caused massive damage in the air, on land, and at sea. This means that targets can now be hit by airstrikes, causing widespread destruction and panic, as these weapons were developed, causing more damage and loss of life. The Japanese even started using their own and going on suicide missions, flying their planes at American ships in the Pacific. The plane was discovered in October 2014, and De Lijn Air Base Museum staff found the Messerschmitt 262 in a field on a farm near the De Lijn Air Base in Netherlands. It is believed that this plane was shot down near the village of Elden on 12th of September 1944, and ever since. The pilot was a fraud who wasn't registered, but in the crash, he died on board. What the Germans did when this happened, remove the wreckage and store it in De Lijn and hide the plane in the bomb crater out of sight. Let's move on to the second discovery, the P-40 Kitty Hawk and pilot. Second, we have the P-40 Kitty Hawk. After more than 7 decades, the body of a missing RAF pilot was also found in the Egyptian desert. In 1942, an RAF pilot was reported missing after failing to return. He was flying a Curtiss Kitty Hawk fighter jet and was said to have crashed in the desert. The Luftwaffe shot down Sergeant Copping's fighter jet near the Libyan-Egyptian border. Copping has been lost in a massive sandstorm and disorientated after flying over the faceless desert after Sergeant Copping's plane crashed. A group of Polish oil workers found Curtiss in Koping in 2012. The authorities found a partially destroyed plane along with a parachute. This meant that Sergeant Pilot had somehow survived the crash and had not tried to get around on foot. But the pilot died due to the intense desert heat. Do you think, instead, the planes were made in a world war, but they were not safe? Tell us your thoughts in the comment box. Aircraft carrier USS Independence. Number 3 is the aircraft carrier USS Independence. The Independence was one of the 90 ships assigned to Operation Crossroads, the test conducted at Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. It sank in 1951. After testing, little is known about its use. The wreck's location was found recently. Researchers began comparing sonar images of the impact with declassified documents to determine that the ship was a radiology laboratory and nuclear waste receptacle from 1946 to 1950. One of the first ships converted to carriers after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Independence operated in the Central and Western Pacific from November 1943 to August 1945. 21 ships were sunk during the testing, but Independence survived, albeit badly damaged when it returned to the United States. Close to the keel and away from sank the ship in January of 1951. Take a deep dive into the ocean with the Japanese submarine, but before that, like the video and don't miss out on the other videos by clicking the subscribe button and making that red button grey. The I-400 class Japanese mega submarine. On 4th, we have the I-400 class Japanese mega submarine. In 2013, a large Japanese submarine was spotted in the waters of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. The Japanese I-400 class mega submarine was the largest submarine of World War II. It had a hangar capable of carrying 3 HE M6A1 Sabran seaplanes. I-400 was completed on December 30th of 1944. In April of 1945, it was prepared for the Panama Canal raid. The Japanese attack planned to destroy the locks of the Panama Canal. But after Okinawa fell, all those plans were scrapped, and the Navy planned to attack the 15 US carriers that were massed at the Ulithi Atoll. However, before the Ulithi offensive could begin, Japan gave up on August 15th of 1945 following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima August 6, 1945 and Nagasaki on August 9th of 1945. The crew of the American destroyer was amazed at the size of the submarine. I-400 was brought to Hawaii by the US Navy for further inspection. The carrier pigeon in chimney. The fantastic discovery at number 5 is the carrier pigeon in chimney. In 2012, a carrier pigeon was found still carrying encrypted messages. It's believed that the message's contents could provide new information from World War II. Around 250,000 domestic pigeons were used by the British during the Second World War. 32 pigeons were awarded the Deakin Medal, the highest award for bravery that was awarded to an animal. Some of the recipients are G.I. Joe and Paddy the Irish Dove. An Austrian complex for Nazi nuclear weapons. The fantastic discovery at number 6 is an Austrian complex for nuclear weapons. Austria is of particular concern to historians and the locals who found it because of the strangely increased levels of radioactive emission measured there. While some professionals say that the story is relatively standard, others aren't so sure. The locals and historians involved don't want to risk that there's a radiation problem there. They want to know what was in it and what it was used for in World War II. It's believed to be part of a series of interconnected tunnels measuring up to 45,000 square meters and was originally a top-secret aircraft manufacturing place. For a decade, an Austrian company has now been filling the tunnel with concrete to make it safer, and this company has also done a lot of drilling in it. Discovery of millions of silver coins from shipwrecks. The most remarkable discovery at number 7 is silver coins from shipwrecks. One of the childhood dreams of many children is to one day find an old pirate ship and a chest filled with gold or other treasure. Many people even dedicate their lives to finding these remains and then found new wealth for themselves. One such case involved a group of men and women from England who managed to unearth a large pile of silver coins worth $44 million. This discovery was made on the remains of a steamship that the Germans had sunk to a record depth of 17,000 feet. The ship in question is named SS City of Cairo and was owned by Ellerman Lines and commanded by Captain William Rogerson. It was a ship that contained passengers and cargo. Toward the end of 1942, the boat left Bombay in India and was escorted to England, stopping en route to Cape Town, South Africa, and Recife in Brazil. There were a total of 296 passengers on board and 136 other passengers and crew still present on the ship. The ship's mixed cargo included more than 100 tons of silver bars and coins belonging to the British Treasury. The Panther Tank. At number 8 we have the Panther Tank. The Panther tank was incredibly tough and far more vital than most World War II tanks. This was due to their strength, but mostly their flexibility that proved to be the bane of many Allied tanks. In July of 2015, the public prosecutor in Kiel alleged that some military relics were in Ivista in Heikendorf. Of course, to find out if that much is true, they must get a search warrant from the police to search the property, and they must have probable reasons for doing so. In Germany, possessing wartime relics or weapons is illegal, and you will be prosecuted if you have included items. Japanese World War II battleship HIJMS Musashi. And at last, we have the Japanese World War II battleship HIJMS Musashi. In March of 2015, after nearly 70 years after the end of World War II, the sunken Japanese warship Musashi lay in the Sibuyan Sea off the coast of the Philippines. Researchers believe that they found the ship after identifying the Type 89 gun turret, a feature of the Musashi, one of the largest warships ever built. The Japanese ships were the second of the Yamato-class state ships built by the Imperial Japanese Navy and were the heaviest of World War II. But instead, Musashi lost with American troops in late 1944. So that is all for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Let us know in the comment section below which discovery you found the most excellent. Just so you don't forget us, a sub to the channel would be amazing. Thank you for joining us though, and we'll see you in the next video.